Hold on a little bit. I'm still like trying to do like some of the things that I'm trying my best. Hold on a little bit. Pin this thing and pin it until it's not fall. So, hello there everyone. My name is Kiribaki and I'm your host and your voice here to entertain you and may or may not have known the hecking idea that what I'm doing. Today is going to be a little bit much more scuffer than usual because like I'm doing quite lots of things right now. So I have no idea where to start with. I'm currently just stuck using the studio mode and work quite a lot of things in the background. Duplicate. Cancel. Chat scene. Okay. And then brought you here. I will make like a very scuffed version of the chat first. Alright. This is going to take a little bit of time. Chibi Mayhem. BG. Okay. Chibi Mayhem BG is here. And let's go to Art Drive. Overlay. Okay, definitely not here. Where's my overlay stuff? Holy shit, don't tell me it got annihilated along with the format. If it is, holy shit, Batman. I need to rebuild so many things. Please don't scare the crap out of me. Please, please. The overlay. Oh, I didn't just type overlay. I mean, I typed it the overlay. Z overlay. Oh man, that scared the crap out of me. And then, okay, with this, let's go to filters, scroll, yes, just a little bit. Okay, done. Ooh. Nope. Okay, good. And let's put myself over. One image will be here, another image will be there. Oh yeah, I totally forgot this. Output setting. Save output. Advanced setting. Yes, don't have to use the main encoders. Using this one, 30 FPS. Rescale output to 720. Alright, let me restart my Twitch stream a little bit to stabilize the streaming part. Twitch is bankrupting. But yeah. Extreme scuff overload. Let me restart the stream stuff again. Oh yeah, I have to log in bot tricks and stuff. Bot tricks. Okay, first I'm going to put all the alert. Oh yeah, this is like support group scene. Let's create. Yes, let's call it highlight. We will put copied. Add browser. Bot tricks alert. Okay. Let's do some testing. Okay, good. Another browser. Chat. Okay, let's go to widget. Go to event label, raffle, emote, blah blah blah. I need the chat thing. Where did the chat go? Ah, chat overlay. Good. I have no idea what the thing is, so just going to remove that. Don't need to ignore users. Don't need hide command. Message stream together. Bubbles. Alright, good. Copy. Paste. Alright. And then also doc. Custom doc. Multi-chat. Apply. Alright, good. Apply. Close. Hi there, Hilly. Yes, you are seeing like a very, very, very extremely scuff moment at the moment because, um, yeah, I format everything. I need to do quite a lot of things in the same times, but don't worry. Oh no, the chat will like hide old message. No, I don't want to hide old message. Makes my stream looks really incompetent. Like I have no chat. No, I don't have backup because I just renew a lot of stuff. Like like I do like a lot of like new stuff lately. So, that particular things don't really have a backup. I have the backup for the older one, but the older one doesn't really work that well anymore because all the plugin is a little bit too old. No, I do have backup, but I just recently have newer stuff added into it. Never expect my computers like went kaput again that soon. Like you just finish making things the next day and then they just like poof. And you can't use the old things too because the yeah, Hold on. Doc, custom doc. This thing, erased, apply. Yeah, the moment you just did like a bunch of stuff like for one day and then like it just like went kaput the next day. Like obviously people do a lot of backup, but mine is more like monthly backup, or you can say weekly backup. Sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly. The reason I don't do that much because this thing takes a shit tons of space. Not most, all of my art asset is saved, but the only thing that didn't manage to get saved is just my scene and stuff. So right now I am doing something new. I already had a plan like halfway in my brain. I need to make a new chat scene too because like this doer guy doing stuff, I want to create like a scene that there's a phone on both sides, one on the left, one on the right, one is me and one is the VTuber. Yeah, I do like the phone concept thing a lot. Okay, I think I got most of the things set up. Let me go to here. Yep, you can't see me yet. Still doing stuff. Like, yo, wow, just like smack that in the middle. Yeah, I want the chat as is like in the middle. Let me do some image. Let's get ourselves a chat border. Hmm. I don't know. Should I make a new one? Hmm. Nah, it's fine. Okay, let's just use this one. Using the power of squeezing shit. Whoa. Ta-da! Okay, this thing now looking nice. And somewhat dandy. Alright, good. It's time to put me in. Put me in! Scene. Flesh tuba. Flesh cam. Wait, that sounds so wrong, the naming sense. The naming sense sounds so freaking wrong. I know what I just said. Dan da 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 da. I'm using a new tracking system, so like the head positioning not functioning anymore. So I just match up my angle to actually move this thing. Yeah, too bad like NVIDIA tracking is actually pretty sucks. But also same time they do eye tracking really well. Let me change this name image to what? Chat border. Chat borders. Ooh, the ringing. Now I already have some idea. I want to like rebuild everything in the first place. So this is like this is a very like you can say good fortunes in some way. I meant to reformat my computers for quite a while because like it's on the fritz lately, so it just forced my hand. TFTLE title. All right, go. There's nothing in there. I'm just going to bring this out. Ba-da-bap. Ba-da-ba-da-bap. Ba-da-bap. Ba-da-ba-bap. Ba-da-ba-da-bap. Yeah. There's something wrong if my title is like not in smack down the middle. I am a narcissist. I need to put my brand in everywhere. I'm going to become Cinder 2.0. I'm going to betray all my friends. I will try to find as much friend as possible. And don't worry, I'm those kind of person who is very kind. Instead of stabbing in the back, I will decide to stab you in front. Too soon, man. Too soon. Nah, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'm fine. You're fine. Everyone's fine. We can do this. Out of everything, you don't have Comic Sans. Yeah, that's like that's like this like one funny thing that I keep doing is like I keep using Comic Sans for everything. YT view. Okay. Do 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 do. Put one here. Go back to bot tricks. Switch to you. Copied. Copied. And and you can paste, place a reference. Just make a new one. I'm very lazy. I want to make another one, but no. Let's see. And then make this. I guess you guys know what I'm doing. I'm trying to stir up the competitive part. Yeah, Comic Sans. Imagine people. I just randomly put something like this. Imagine like I got famous because like everyone just like tried to like go full tribalisms. I actually really doing this for fun, but I can imagine somehow tribalism happens, and everyone just like went ham with this thing. Like if I actually size like the YouTube one and the Twitch one different size, they would be like do like hyperpixel calculations. And they'd be like, holy shit, you favor YouTube. Holy shit, you favor Twitch because of the size. Imagine I add Twitter into it too. Crypto versus who shall win? Mm-hmm. going to group this guys together. Together. Oh no. Missed one. Just chat border. I need to make a just chat screen. Okay. Just chat screen. Get this border in. And then make them group up together. Oops. Yep, I'm going to put them here. And extend the size a little bit. Right click, transform, center them horizontally. Good. Also, by the way, hi there everyone, my name is Gary Valku and I'm your host and your voice. Here to entertain all of you voiling, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Yes, I can change my voice. Pretty much, but yes. If you actually want me to change my voice to a much more helpful one, and then I shall actually do it for you. But for now, I haven't really adjusted my mic yet, so my mic is not EQ treated yet. So yeah, the volume might be a little bit like not consistent. I'm trying my best to like stick close to the mic, but hey, when I do something like this, my voice will be very, very like different. Okay. Hey, also, if anyone join in right now, I can display you one thing really funny. If you guys already watched me a long time ago, then it's fine. You guys might already notice. But if you guys actually notice, like, if you watch any like those kind of like like a video that is like those like those kind of like Vtuber showcase. Yes, Vtuber showcase. If anyone created like a Vtuber showcase, and then they have to like display how versatile the rig is, this and that stuff, they always do this. You guys can't actually see much in here, but yeah, it's generally like that. It's just generally a bit like that. And oh yeah, I need to drop a scene here too. A scene. Okay, scene. And then let's go for the hey, where's my OBS cam? Yes. Doom. Oh, actually, I need to keep it like this size. Ooh, man, this thing doesn't really captures everything, huh? Hold on a little bit. I'm still, again, extreme scuff, okay? Extreme scuffed. All right, good. I'm still doing like lots of adjustment and stuff, so yeah, you guys have fun with it. And by the way, anyone noticed the YouTube versus the Twitch one? I can tell you guys this one thing: YouTube is winning, so I get more view right now from YouTube than Twitch. So, yay! Sorry, my hair is like not really like spiky today. It's like, yeah, I didn't expect to start my stream today, to be honest. Ding, 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 ding. To be honest, I think I should do this guy here. Yes. And then I'll make a phone. Yes, make a phone right here, right now. But hold on a little bit. Hold on your butts. Hold on your butts. Grab hold of your tushy. Okay? Hold on a little bit. I am making stuff on the spot, okay? It's going to be scuffed, okay? Yeah. Yes. Going to make you here. Again, to hold on to your tushy. I'm actually making shit, okay? It's not like just making like empty stuff. Oh, by the way, anyone is here. Hi there, my name is Kiribaku, and I'm your host and your voice with a voice here to entertain you and may not a little bit thirsty from chatting to empty air. Hi there. No, I'm not drinking Gatorade. It's just the green screen crop is not perfect, okay? And then people say like, it's Mountain Dew, not Gatorade. Sorry, okay? We don't have Gatorade here. I don't even think we have Mountain Dew here. Wait, I think we have Mountain Dew here. I drank Mountain Dew before, gosh dang it. But I don't really like Mountain Dew. Yes. Bite me. But you guys can't bite me. Aha. Da da da. Da 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 da. So currently, oh, the tablet is not in yet. Did I? Yeah, I can't draw any jack shit yet because. Hold on, a little bit. Oh, it's not in here. It's in the Opera GX. Is it? Let's hope it's here. Oh no, it's not in here. So let's go to search the XP pen. 15.6 Pro driver. Yeah, I haven't clicked download the driver. I'm an idiot. I am a idiot because I can't even do a proper thing. Sorry, I'm not actually an opera singer, so I can't actually sing them up. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time to say goodbye. I'm bad, bad. This is why I can't sing. I told lots of people I can't sing because I can't maintain in one pitch for too long. Okay? Oh, I need to close all painting software. Alright. Hold on. Yeah, confirm changed. Saved. 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 Don't save. Okay. Okay. I've read the license and everything. Just proceed. Man. No. No, I don't want to restart. Just use whatever I have. Can I? No. I don't want to restart. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm still pretty sick. I'm still pretty sick from whatever that is that's been ailed me. I just want to tell you I'm going to make everything up. So, my plan is to have a chat here and Vtuber. And then a screen here. So I'm going to create a phone in this area. because I'm literally using my phone to record this thing, so I do want to like make it somewhat looking like a phone screen. Things like that, you know? So, it's time. It's time to design. Alright, what shall we do currently? Well, it's easy. As you already can see, I am going to use the view functions and trigger the grid system. And why do I need to trigger the grid system? Because I need a snapping. Why do I need a snapping? Well, this is another very good question. Depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to make like a pinpoint system that where you can do all this. Ooh. Here's the thing. I'm trying to make a phone, but not all phone is, you know, perfect. So I am going to here paint bucket you. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and then Ctrl T. Okay, great. Using this, and let's put some square around it. Let's do some counting, alright? Alright, let's do some countings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1. Oh, it's not. Gosh dang it. So I should. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. Now this is tally numbers. Okay, using this, I'm going to magic wand it and turn this thing off, turn this thing back on, delete, oops, delete. Now I have this. And have everything together, squeeze you down. Okay, have this thing right now. I would be doing this, but this time again, magic tool, shrink. And then invert, delete. Then we have somewhat of a gap here. I think we need to do more. Again. Invert one more time. Delete. So we have a 1 pixel gap. Good. 1 pixel gap. We got a general phone shape. I need to keep doing this. Maybe this time 1.5. Alright. Then invert again. Yeah, bigger gap is better. Let's have some things working here, okay? Open a window. No, don't need that yet. Add to executable. And then I need a studio window capture. just temporarily. This thing is here just temporarily. Okay. Ooh.
Basically every other month, something
Yeah.
will blow up at Twitch. Always. I remember actually one thing that I did like that they did. They made it so that you don't have to be affiliate to get payouts anymore. There's just a dollar threshold that you have to hit. And they did that. And I was like, oh, that's nice for like the people that stream really infrequently and just their friends watch and they're not really going for affiliate. Like, that's pretty cool. And then when they did that, so many people were like, oh, so what? So my affiliate status doesn't matter anymore? Oh, so you're devaluing my affiliate status. And I was like, brother, just let the people that stream to 2 people have their $50 every 5 months. I was like, there's not that many people that are going to be subbing to them if they're staying tiny streamers. They're just doing this for friends or something. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know. They've done other stuff that I haven't liked, but that one I actually thought was good and people were freaking out. I remember that, yeah, partners were mad when they gave affiliates more emote slots. I remember that too. I get it, like why they feel negatively about it for the first 10 seconds. The first thing that comes to mind, if you're like partnered and you work so hard to get there and then you get your partner benefits, which aren't much, not a lot of benefits, just some. And one of the few is all your emote slots, right? So you make it, you get your badge and you get your emote slots and you're like, oh my God, yay, right? And then the first thing that comes to mind when you see that affiliates now also get some more emotes too is you're like, but I worked hard for that. That thought of the but should last a few seconds and then you immediately go, oh, that's nice though, because it is nice and because it's not harming you. That's all. It's not harming you. It's fine. But no, there's so many people that were like crashing out on Twitter and they were like, what about me? And I'm like, you're doing great, pal. You're partnered. You're doing great. You're gonna be okay. Like, I don't know, man. I was just glad that more of my friends that were stuck in like the 10 emote only hell were not stuck in that. I am a proponent of the phrase, a rising tide lifts all boats, okay? Because it does. That's it. That's how it is. When people are doing well on this platform and they're advertising out to other platforms and they're bringing more people here, yay, everyone wins. There will be some times, yes, there will be some times where one community, a lot of their people move over to another. That does happen. But do better, be better. That's all I can say. Do better, be better, and understand that overall, most people benefit from these situations, okay? It's just how it is. It's how it goes, man. A Twitch career, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck, is really volatile, so it makes sense to be touchy and overreact when there's threat into the balance you manage to build. Yeah, I get that. I think that is a very true statement. At the same time, if they have a Twitch career and they're living paycheck to paycheck off of it, they shouldn't only have a Twitch career because it is volatile. That's my thought. Personally, I think if you are at that point where you're making that your career, but you don't have a nest egg saved up to like try and float yourself for some time while you try to make this work and see if it grows, you know, or you're not like already doing well enough where you can quit your job and you're beyond living paycheck to paycheck on it, you shouldn't be doing it, you know, if you're not at those points. It's a little crazy. Yeah, exactly what you said, Beard. Beard, that was my intent when I started streaming too. I was like, this is going to be a hobby, and if it makes me money, it's just going to be extra, but I'm going to keep my job because I had a great tech job, and I was like, yeah, I'll just do this forever. And the only reason I didn't, as I've said a billion times, is because I literally got cancer, right? Like I had a major health problem, and I was like, ooh, I should not really worry about that career so much. Streaming at that point was doing well for me. I was a 1K Andy, so I was like, it makes me enough money that I can like live off of it, or at least pay my main and then you know, we'll see what happens. If it weren't for that, I would not have quit my great job, you know, to be honest, even though I was doing really well, just because it was volatile, and I was like, I don't see the point. And then, you know, once I made this my main job, I really liked it, so I've stuck with it since, and it's worked out. But you know, I was doing by all metrics pretty well, and I still wasn't quitting my job because my job was just better. It was just better, like financially, you know. So I think people kind of pull the trigger too early on like quitting their jobs and trying this out. And it's one thing if you want to quit your job to get a different one later, or if you're like, I just want to try it for 6 months and see if me putting all of my time into it has it grow and I feel like I can continue with it. There's nothing wrong with trying that. But some people do that and they're doing that for like 2 years. And I'm like, all right, what's the trial period here? You know, like you're doing yourself a disservice at that point, right? Can you still go back to your old job? Not to brag, my resume is really good. Yeah, I could go and get a job like anywhere if I needed to. If this didn't work out, I'm really lucky that no, I'm not lucky. I did that, but like I'm in a great position, right? Where I could just go and get a good job again easy if I really needed to, which is good. Like, I know I have that stability available to me if I needed it, but I like doing this. One day I'll use my connections to find a job, but until then I'm gonna keep grinding on hard mode by cold applying. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. Like, I met so many people through all the work that I did that if I wanted to work at a specific place, I could probably, like, for a lot of them, I could probably ask and just be like, hey, I'm back. I'm looking for work. And, you know, I'd probably get something. I'm good, though. Some of the places I worked at or clients I worked for, I never want to touch again with a 10-foot pole. I'm so good right where I am. No matter what happens on Twitter, no matter what's going on in this community, it is peanuts. It is nothing compared to some of the other that I had to deal with on the other side. I'm good, okay? I'm all right here. So kind of part of why I stuck with it too. I was like, wow, this is actually not as emotionally distressing. This is great. I had one client many years ago. We did a project for them, handed this project over at the MVP, okay? The MVP stage, which is the minimum viable product rather. Typically, the minimum viable product is the baseline, it just barely functions, it just works version, okay? But there's still so much work to be done to make it good after that. Yeah, the bones, right? The structure, it exists, but it doesn't look good yet. It doesn't feel good to use yet. There's so much change you want to make, etc. It's just functioning for the first time, and you're putting it in front of them to be like, does it function or is it not doing what you want at all? Did we get this right? And I had we had a client take it and look at how much we were billing hourly and how we basically spent half the time getting it to that stage, and we're gonna spend another of the same amount of time beyond that to get it to like good where it needed to be, what we agreed upon. And they were like, I think I want to stop the project right here, and I'm going to hire my own in-house team to finish this up to that point. And we were like, okay. They spent all that money, called us back a year later, and we're like, so that product, remember that? Remember that project you did for us? And they were like, it's all gone tits up. It's all gone to And we looked it over, and they basically had someone come in and try to finish it, but they went back and changed a lot of that we put in there that was good, that didn't need changing or shouldn't have been changed. And it was just up. It just didn't even function right anymore. It looked good though. It looked good. Like, design-wise, it looked so pretty, but it didn't work well. So we went in and we scrapped every bit of work they did. Everything. Even the changes they made to the base product. We just took our old base product and started from there and just did the stuff they were supposed to have us do from the start anyway. And you know, that's just how it goes, man. And scenarios like that are just so, I mean, it's more work, so it's great, but it was so frustrating to deal with that it just makes me really like streaming a lot more than, you know, working on projects where like that happens. You know what I mean? Streaming, I'm just doing my own thing. I'm making my own thing. And I have to deal with other people getting in the way of it way less. So, you know, I have a good time with it. I really loved the work that I did. It was really certain clients, certain projects that I didn't like. Like, overall, I still enjoyed what I was doing and had a good time with it. I like this more, but I don't dislike that. The problem was there were certain projects and certain clients that I would do anything to never deal with ever again. So, yeah, I have a good time here.
Boom, 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 boom. Ba-dum, bam, 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 ba-dum. Ba, 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 ba.
So as many of you may know, Sony is making a big push for live services. It's why they bought out studios like Firewalk Studios, who made the epic failure that was Concord, why they bought out Bungie, and why they're having as many of their first-party
Ooh, it's loud.
studios essentially delve into the realm of live services. Though, after the failure of Concord, literally one of the biggest flops in AAA
Sorry, my audio is
gaming
not
history,
really,
it
like,
made literally
tuned
zero
yet.
money. After all that, they did cancel a bunch of live service projects, and their plans of like shipping 12 live services within the span of a couple years, that didn't quite pan out. And something else that they're pursuing currently with Bungie in particular is Bungie's next big live service, Marathon. Now, the thing about Marathon is that it is not in the realm of Destiny at all. Marathon is a completely different beast, whether it's for better or for worse. I guess we'll find out at launch.
I feel
but
sad for
currently,
Destiny.
it's looking like for worse. So this right here, for those who don't know, is Marathon. It is an extraction shooter. It is slated to be released on September 23rd, 2025, and here's what the trailer for it, the gameplay overview trailer for it looks like. This game does definitely have a unique vibe to it. It's got this like cyberpunky, colorful, abstract, kind of almost like minimalistic in terms of shapes and textures, aesthetic to it.
Marathon is a team-based extraction shooter set around the mysterious and cutthroat world of Tau Ceti 4. You are a runner.
And if you've
cybernetic
played
mercenary
Destiny,
who's given up their human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats.
in terms of moment-to-moment gameplay,
Tactical and fast-paced combat.
the gunplay and
Here you'll fight
whatnot,
as a
the
crew of
moment-to-moment
up to 3
combat,
players across a variety of zones and points of
it definitely looks
You'll face rival runners in zones of up to
like that
18
area is going to be, you know, it's going to feel good to play because Bungie is good at that in terms of gunplay feeling good, but it's it's the game surrounding that people have doubts about.
Colony for glory and fortune. The environments of Tau Ceti 4 are filled with weapons, materials, and equipment you can scavenge throughout the map.
It's an extraction shooter, so you go in,
You'll strategically build your loadout and select a runner.
loot as much as
Ensure you're equipped
possible,
for the run ahead. Your objective is simple.
PvPvE,
Get in, gather as much loot as you can, and make it out alive.
and you extract yourself, and then you repeat that cycle, and then kind of try to
Survive.
upgrade your character
Into future runs as you grow in power and fill your
while trying to retain your own
death.
valuable loot.
But it's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponent.
Because if you get downed and
You and your teammates
killed,
will be the ones coming out on top.
others can take your stuff, and along the
even if
way,
you're
there are
down on your
objectives,
luck,
you name it.
Factions can
I
sponsor
don't
you with a
really
fresh
like this
loadout
type of game.
and get right
So
back
yeah, you
into
kind
the
of get a general vibe for the game just looking at this initial portion of this trailer.
action to the forefront. Dynamic and tactile gunplay. Runners with unique playstyles.
Now what you'll
and
find is that
customizable builds create highly dynamic and strategic team fights.
if you look at the likes to dislikes ratio, you can see that there are very much mixed feelings surrounding this particular title based on what people have seen. A lot of people just generally have the sense that the game looks a bit underwhelming. It's not what Destiny fans want. They are looking more forward to something that is that shared world type of experience that Marathon isn't really. It's more of like you go into a lobby, then you go into a match, then you get out, and then you repeat that cycle instead of it feeling like a more kind of interconnected experience. Like whereas Destiny had this like campaign that could be tackled together or alone, and it felt like it had multiple facets to it. This is just an extraction shooter. So scrolling down, you'll find comments like, I miss the days when shooters came with epic campaigns and multiplayer modes in one package. Others are questioning its art style, saying that at times it looks really cool and other times it looks like a roadblock server. And some people are already expecting that this game won't really do all that well. Like this user saying, looking forward for Bungie's Twitter post announcing this game's live service cancellation due to low player count in a few weeks. Here we have the gameplay reveal trailer. Very scripted, you know, as all gameplay trailers tend to be. But yeah, scrolling down through these comments, you know, likes to dislikes ratio, not great. But then right here we have plenty of people expressing indifference or expressing a lack of interest or just expressing their disappointment in what Bungie is making here versus what people love from Bungie, especially after Destiny, saying this is the first time in my life I saw an actual game trailer look like a YouTube ad that I would skip while eating dinner. Which indie dev made this early access game? Oh wow, what a trailer. Words cannot express my indifference. Am I tripping, or was that trailer cut kind of weird, like too jumpy, trying to make it look exciting? There's this general sense that Marathon is not going to perform quite as well as Destiny. There's just this lack of enthusiasm and excitement over it, and looking at early numbers based on the closed beta, the way the game is trending also suggests that maybe it's not something that's going to catch fire. Beyond a lack of interest for the type of game that they're making here through the Marathon IP, which actually was the first game that Bungie ever made, even before Halo, the way they've converted it into an extraction shooter that is more of like a trend-chasing kind of game, and even within that, not really revolutionizing the formula all that much, combined with the fact that the closed beta has kind of shown that at launch, Marathon just seems very content dry. It doesn't have enough content to really justify its price point. And speaking of price point, the fact that it's not free to play, a lot of people are saying that based on what they played in the closed alpha, it doesn't seem like the game will ultimately justify its $40 price point. And yes, this is closed alpha stage, but the game does come out in September. That's just a couple months away. And in terms of the full offering as far as content is concerned, I think there's like one more map people haven't seen. There's like a couple things that will be added to the final game, but it's not going to be such a substantial transformation that it's going to change perception surrounding the game, is the general feeling. So yeah, $40 price tag is being perceived as something that will serve as a major detriment to Marathon's ability to be able to be accessible and in turn to be able to pull in successful numbers. Similarly to how Concord, another one of Sony's live service releases, because they charge money for that up front instead of making it a free-to-play experience. Well, even when it was free-to-play during the beta, that game did incredibly poor numbers, so charging money for it was always going to result in just absolute failure, which is exactly what happened. A lot of people fear that Marathon might experience something similar at a $40 price point. To me, Marathon is going through a very similar journey as Concord is, very like tepid, lukewarm reception when it comes to what's being marketed. A lot of people who've gotten their hands on it and people who have kind of researched the game or checked it out feeling like it doesn't have enough content at launch, feeling like it's not worth even $40, and feeling like the game is overall polished and, you know, it does a decent job of tackling this specific genre, whether it's, you know, in the case of Concord, hero shooter, or in the case of Marathon, extraction shooter, but it doesn't push the genre forward enough and it doesn't stand out enough on its own for it to be able to compete with the established games and to allow this live service to kind of become the, you know, billion-dollar success that companies want these live services to be. We're already seeing a bit of the writing on the wall with Marathon, judging by the trend we're seeing with the closed alpha. Numbers in the closed alpha aren't going to be huge, obviously, because it is a closed alpha, but you can see just the way it peaked at almost 7,000 players, and then every day subsequently we're seeing less and less players. The interest falling off this quickly is kind of an early sign of what's to come, because the final game of Marathon is not going to be that much different from what you play in the alpha. There are going to be some refinements and some content additions that weren't in the alpha, but nothing so substantial as to transform the game to convince people that, you you know, if you didn't like the alpha, then you'll like the final game. It's not going to be that substantial of a difference. And then another very telling statistic is Marathon's Twitch viewership. You can see that viewership peaked in sort of the early days of the Marathon closed alpha, particularly the day that the alpha went live. You can see right here that viewership peaked at roughly, you know, 170,000 players, over 170,000 players. But then there's this huge drop off, and then there's not much in the way of recovery, highlighting that people got bored of the game pretty quickly. And then it doesn't help that games journalists and content creators who've gotten their hands on Marathon generally are expressing very mixed feelings about the game. None of them seem overly enthusiastic about it. You've got articles like this one saying that Marathon is a polished extraction shooter, but that might not be enough. It feels like it delivers a satisfying gameplay experience, but the experience around the gameplay could leave a lot to be desired. Again, just not enough meat on that bone. And this is just one example. If you go around the internet and look at all the hands-on previews, you'll find that the vast majority of them, while highlighting some of the positive elements, like the fact that it does feel polished in terms of the gameplay experience, in terms of its ability to be a long-term live service, a lot of people have skepticisms. You've already got folks like Paul Tassi here through Forbes, and Paul Tassi being someone who plays a bunch of live services, urging Sony and Bungie to delay Marathon based on experiences surrounding the closed alpha, how feature and complete it feels, how it feels like there's just not enough game there, and how it just needs to be more fleshed out and requires just more time for this to cook. Destiny kind of set the groundwork for modern day shared world looter shooters. It did it first. It's kind of set the trend that others chased after and followed. And that's why Destiny succeeded. It was kind of the first of its kind. And a lot of people feel like Bungie should have just stuck with what they're good at and done a Destiny 3 instead of, you know, trying to chase the trend of an extraction shooter that others are a lot more established in. Marathon just tackles a genre that Bungie fans aren't interested in, and then when it comes to extraction shooter fans, they've got a lot of options already. The competition in that space is already significant, especially with Tarkov kind of dominating that space. Marathon could potentially pull a Fortnite and become the de facto extraction shooter if they support the game enough and they make some changes and really make it, you know, well above and beyond what Tarkov accomplished. But there are just skepticisms of that happening. There's this general sense that the game will drop off very quickly, especially with the trends that we're seeing on Steam and on Twitch from the closed alpha. And there's a sense that this game just won't really live long enough to see it fully fleshed out to a point where it can compete with the other extraction shooters out there. We don't live in the same era that Destiny and Destiny 2 launched in, when competition in that space was meager enough where Bungie could come in and kind of set the bar there. We are in an environment now where live services are rampant, where the space and the market is so oversaturated that even Bungie, I think, will struggle to ship their own version of an extraction shooter and make it a success, especially when the early reception based on the trailers and the marketing that they've shown so far and the hands-on impressions have been very tepid. We'll see, I guess, what numbers look like for the open beta. It's still got the Bungie name behind it, but just because you've got a major name behind something doesn't mean that a live service will succeed, as evidenced by all of the failed live services like Anthem, which had the BioWare name behind it, Marvel's Avengers, which had the Avengers IP behind it. Frickin' Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League had the DC brand behind it, combined with the entirety of the Justice League. Villains like Harley Quinn and Joker and frickin' Deathstroke, you name it. And none of it ultimately ended up appealing to folks because the game itself was just something that was not particularly interesting. It was not what people wanted to see from a studio like Rocksteady. It felt very misguided. I have a bad feeling about the way this particular live service will perform. I think this may end up being a huge loss for Bungie. While I don't suspect that this will be a failure on the level of Concord, I do think the trend that we're going to see at launch is going to be similar to what we're seeing now with the closed alpha, which is a big wave of people, you know, who will check the game out because it's a new Bungie game, then realizing that it's not kind of what they want and it's not as interesting of a game as it could be. It doesn't just do enough. It's got that been there, done that aspect to it that makes it not the most exciting new release, and they're going to move on to the more established live services that bring in more viewership, that are just more fun to play, that are more established, that are more feature complete, and Marathon is going to fade off and unceremoniously die like so many live services have, is the current prediction on my end based on what the general vibes are surrounding this title. But only time will tell. In the meantime, though, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on the current state of Marathon, what you think about the game itself and the type of genre it's pursuing, and whether you think Marathon will succeed or whether you think it'll be another dead live service. Are you on the side of the fence of it's worth giving this game a chance, or are you on the side of the fence of like this game feels like it's going to be dead on arrival? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.
Bam 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 bam.
Jack Doherty is getting very desperate. So apparently the latest news is that he's been robbed at gunpoint in Beverly Hills, California. He claims that the robbers stole some jewelry from him worth about $300,000. And he's posted the aftermath of the situation where he's filing a police report. He's melting down about the incident, saying how he was tackled to the ground by 4 people and pinned down and they took his chain. And of course his shirt seems to have conveniently disappeared again. And I'm just sat here looking at this situation and thinking something just isn't adding up. How does a guy who streams pretty much everything all day every day get conveniently robbed the one time he actually isn't streaming and the robbers wouldn't know his location, right? Because when you're streaming, you're broadcasting your location live, so that's when you're more likely to be robbed. Also, this happened in Rodeo Drive, which is like a famous shopping street in California, meaning that there's literally going to be cameras everywhere, so this would pretty much be the worst place to rob someone, especially in broad daylight. So let's just investigate this situation together and just see what actually happened. So it starts with Jack meeting the police and explaining what happened.
Guys, I just got robbed. I just got robbed on Rodeo Drive. 4 armed guys hopped out of their car, ripped both my chains off my neck. Bro, I think that was a setup, bro. Like, that was a setup.
So how many people? Can we just hold off on this because we got some information.
Dave, I don't even know what the happened. Like, help me talk, bro. I'm in shock.
Right, so 4 armed guys apparently robbed Jack Doherty in broad daylight. Now, if you remember, the last time we talked about Jack, his OnlyFans girlfriend actually left him and she called the cops on him. And she was pretty much the last source of his income. And I feel like Jack has started panicking and getting very desperate, trying to sustain his new acquired lifestyle, right? And it's resulted in him doing something very stupid. I have a theory that this might be some sort of an inside job, some sort of like an insurance fraud. I feel like Jack probably had one of his own goons pretend to rob him so that he would get a bunch of
Actually,
insurance
this type of
money.
insurance
It's kinda
fraud
like burning
does
down your own
exist.
house so you can cash in on the insurance, right? And I'm not sure if this strategy is actually going to work out for him, honestly, because he might just go to prison if they actually investigate and come to the conclusion that he's been bullshitting. So then Jack's bodyguard tries to explain to the cops what actually happened, because obviously Jack is too much of a baby to do it himself. And keep in mind, this is a different bodyguard from the one you've seen in the viral clips. The last one punched somebody and got in legal trouble, so Jack had to swap it up.
Nah, they're with me. Sir, they're with me.
It was 4 males. I assume it was 4 males.
They touch you?
Yes.
Bleeding.
Do you need fire?
Sure. What's that? South San Marcos from Purdue.
Alright, just make sure nobody else touches you. We're gonna have crime level.
Alright. It's time to
One room was
end.
100K, one room was 200K.
It's like 300K.
Yeah.
The planes are returning to an '09 Audi four-door, registered out of LA on Yellow Way, Classified.
Right, so Jack just pulls out his phone and starts looking at chat. This absolute doofus can't even pay attention for 2 minutes to just answer the police officer's questions. Now, do I think the police is real? Yes, it does seem to be real. The officer looks legit, and you can hear the communications in the back. Obviously, these are real people walking in the background as well, so it is not completely set up. But I think the robbery probably is. And the thing is, Jack might just actually be committing a crime here, which makes me very giddy with excitement. Because if the investigation is thorough, then this reject might actually see the inside of a jail cell. And with creators like Vitaly finally finding out and getting actual prison time in horrific conditions, I feel like this is great. I feel like the tide is finally shifting. Now, I think in the interaction, Jack said he's bleeding, but I literally do not see where. I have not seen it in this entire goddamn clip. Now, some people are also suspecting that his new girlfriend is the one who set this up. They're theorizing that nobody else would actually know where Jack actually is at all times and know if it's like safe to rob him at that point. And how would the robbers even know if he had anything valuable on him? And even if they knew he had jewelry on him, how would they know if it's actually real? Because most people just walk around with fake jewelry because it looks the exact same, and you can't tell the difference unless you use like a diamond checker. Anyways, here we have a picture of the necklaces that were stolen. I mean, you obviously can't really tell if it's real in the picture, but even if it is real, there's no guarantee that one of Jack's friends didn't just take it and hide it somewhere and then claim it got robbed, right? But anyways, let's quickly move on to Jack's new girlfriend. I thought this was McKinley at first, but apparently not. Jack just found the exact replica Temu version of McKinley. Because as we know from last episode, the real one broke up with him and called the cops on him.
Bro, what the just happened, bro? Yeah.
Did they hop out with guns out?
Yes. It literally happened right there.
And what, you ran?
Yeah, give us a play-by-play.
What happened? Yeah.
Bro, that was a setup for sure, bro. It's too f***ing perfect. I walk out and they're right there, bro. Like they walk out and they immediately hop out their f***ing car.
Yeah, wow, that is a strikingly similar looking person. I wonder what her hourly rate actually is to put up with Jack here. And honestly, whatever it is way too low. Now, he keeps saying it's a setup, but I'm not exactly sure who he's accusing here because there's only a couple people it really could have been. Your new girlfriend or your new bodyguard. Those are the only two people who sort of knew your location and your general daily schedule. But the situation just keeps getting weirder because we find out that the bodyguard wasn't even armed, conveniently, right? So when these armed robbers confronted Jack, this gigantic dude could actually not do anything because he conveniently did not have a gun. And, you know, maybe that makes sense because, you know, he's only been hired here to intimidate people and to protect Jack when he starts harassing random people on the street because, you know, when people want to beat the shit out of him, he needs a big guy in the way. Anyways, Jack keeps cooking his fairy tale here, saying that people tackled him.
All three or four of them just tackling me to the ground. It's insane. Like, I don't even know what happened. What even happened? Like, I didn't even see what happened. It all happened so fast. Did they just pin me against the wall?
Can I speak to you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna separate you from everyone just so I can get your information and everything. I understand you guys are right. Just right now, for the sake of the investigation, I'm gonna need you guys to go to the tree. The tree? The little tree?
Yeah.
Do you have your IDs? The little tree, guys.
Yeah, so he just consistently does this. He keeps ignoring the officers who are trying to get information on the situation. And you would think that someone who got robbed would be a bit more keen on helping the officer with details and stuff, but he's too busy replying to the bots in his stream chat. By the way, this is not on any real website like YouTube or Twitch or something like that. This is on some random third-party thing called Party, which is where like Johnny Somali and all these cretins are streaming. I don't even know what the hell that is, some random crypto website. Now let me just point out some inconsistencies here. He said he was tackled to the ground by 4 people. First off, you don't need more than a little girl to tackle Jack Doherty to the ground. But then he also says he was pinned to the wall. So how do you get tackled to the ground and then lifted up and pinned to the wall? Like, why wouldn't they just take your shit while you're on the ground? And again, I'm gonna keep bringing it up. This is happening in one of the most popular shopping streets in broad daylight. yes, the hug me for $10 deal. I really care about you, Jack. I've only known you for about 2 days now. And actually, I really care about you. Honestly, if I was a detective, she
Alright,
would be number
this
one on
should
my
be
list.
okay.
Because she's probably like, okay, his
Um,
previous girlfriend just kind of used
yep,
him and
yep.
left him. I can probably...
Sorry, it seems that yeah, my stream, my computer crashed again. Not sure why. Not sure why. It's still somewhat new. Maybe I still haven't like I maybe missed some of like the driver update or something. Not really sure. Hold on a little bit. I'm fixing all the thing. Transform, center horizontally. Everything should be okay. All I need a little bit more left is okay, good. Alright, everything should be nice and going. But yeah, like I still everything's still on the fritz. So I'm going to have this day to be normal, I guess. Let me see. And to refresh this one a little bit, but they're not showing anything. So either way, yeah. I need to take a break. There's so many things I just did. As always, guys, I'm not really sure what just happened. Oh, I think I know why. Either way, yeah, now I know what's the reasons why that happened. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, everyone, stay healthy, stay safe. Until next time, stay tuned on the next stream. Bye bye. I don't have my empty scene yet, so yeah, bye.